As peak cat birth season approaches, animal advocates say people trying to rescue kittens may actually be doing more harm than good. Winnebago County Animal Services says shelters already see dozens of felines come through its doors every week. Miriam Niesmeyer talks with experts who say people should pause before picking the kittens up.
Winnebago County Animal Services say they see more people bringing in young kittens after finding them hidden under sheds, porches, and bushes with mom nowhere to be found.
And so we call it kitten-napping. Their best chance of survival is with their mom.
Winnebago County Animal Services adoption coordinator Amber Pinnon says many people assume kittens have been abandoned, even though the mother cat often stays nearby searching for food.
You may stumble upon kittens without mom, and they may be without mom for, multiple hours. So the big thing is to not intervene immediately. If the kittens are warm and they don't seem in distress, leaving them safely be and keeping an eye out for mom is the best thing that can be done.
Pinnon says kittens younger than 4 weeks old rely on their mothers for nearly everything, from food, warmth, to basic survival. She says removing them too early puts them in a vulnerable position and could increase the risk of death or severe health problems.
Kittens really need that milk from their mom and that care from their mom in order to be as healthy as they can be.
Project Humane Polo in Ogle County says large feral cat populations also fuel the problem. The organization works to trap, neuter, and return outdoor cats to prevent future litters.
The cycle just continues and they keep reproducing, and then it's out of control. And then you have, cats in bad conditions, cats in bad health, people complaining about the cats when it's not their fault. They're there. It's the human's fault.
In Rockford, Miriam Niesmeyer, WIFR News.
Winnebago County Animal Services says it's working to bring back its trap, neuter, and return program. In the meantime, residents looking for TNR resources can contact the shelter for recommendations on organizations helping in their area.